New at 3 o'clock today, we are learning more about the shocking allegations from a lawsuit that claims there are, quote, systematic failures in special needs programs within the Clark County School District. The class action lawsuit accuses the district of failing to properly train teachers and give them the resources they need to teach CCSD's 40,000 special needs students. Outside federal court today, a team of attorneys and parents said the district's special education system is in crisis. The parents who are part of the lawsuit say their voices are finally being heard after years of battles with the district.
Last school year was very hard, and as a parent, you pray that you're doing everything right and your son is getting everything that they need. And my son absolutely was not getting what he needed.
The lawsuit also claims the district is not working to identify students who need evaluations for their disabilities. Fox 5 asked the district about the lawsuit. They said they do not comment on pending litigation.